For all those out there saying that John Wick should be male-centered, can't be gender swapped, blah, 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 blah. Luckily, fortunately, Ballerina is here to show them otherwise. Let's talk about it. Hi, my name's Stu and welcome to another review video on Flying Wiener. Now, I do actually agree that there are some roles that feel really, really weird when they are gender swapped, but I mean, just to clarify, we're not talking about a female John Wick here, right? Just to put that straight in case you have heard something like that, because I'm sure there are tons of people out there who decried this film even before, you know, I was close to coming to theatres because, oh, you know, it's John Wick, they're trying to force women and wokeness and blah, 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 all these kind of things into it. It's not that, right? Ballerina, Ana de Armas' character, is just a person in this world. She's not trying to be John Wick, and it's one of the actually surprising things, and a lot of surprising things in this film. So, just to keep it, you know, the shortest way I can, this film absolutely deserves to exist. It has its place in the John Wick world. It expands it. It just makes me want to know more about this weird and crazy assassin world that we find ourselves living in for the, past 11 years or so. It's really, really cool. So, you know, please go into it with an open mind. I did, and I was definitely rewarded for it, right? So that's all I'll say. But yes, just to clarify, this is a spin-off from John Wick. So it does say actually the full title, I think, is From the World of John Wick, Ballerina, right? But most people just call it Ballerina. But yes, so it's a spin-off. As far as the timeline is concerned, to my knowledge, it happens, the story takes place someplace between the 3rd and 4th John Wick, something like that. And yeah. We're in this universe. I suppose we should talk about the plot, I suppose, right? We are focused on Eve, played by Ana de Armas. We see that her father, who obviously somehow was also involved in this mysterious assassin world, was killed when she was very young. She is taken in by people we have already seen in the John Wick films. They've got the sort of, I keep forgetting the sort of Slavic origin. They've got dance school, ballerina schools, and they're also in, as everyone is, involved in the assassin world. Yeah, so they take her in. They obviously train her not just in ballet, but in all the art of all this assassin stuff, etc. To be specific, they offer this service in this world, and that's what I mean. I really enjoy just exploring more of this world. So they're not right out, you know, I mean, they do obviously take assassin jobs. We see that in the film as well, but mainly their function seemingly is to protect people. So you can hire them for protection. You're like, okay, and then we see this happen in the film where they hire Ana de Armas' character to protect the daughter of some wealthy guy from being kidnapped, right, by his main rival. So I think that's really cool. So we see that, so she's taken in by them. She, during one of the many jobs that she does, she discovers a link to the people, the tribe as she calls them, who killed her father. And she's out for revenge, which is not an uncommon theme in John Wick films. She's told multiple times, you know, to not do it, to not pursue this path. You know, it won't lead to anything good. It might even lead to war between, you know, her faction and this other one. But she will not stray from this path. She is very determined. And that is the plot of the story. So we see her following this path, following this trail, trying to find the people who killed her father. That is basically it, right? It sounds very, very simple. It's not all too surprising for a film from the John Wick universe. But yes, there's no reason to make it highly complicated, I find. It's good because there's so many other things you want to concentrate on. So I've already briefly mentioned the world building. I think it's absolutely fantastic. We do, just a spoiler, but you do see him in the trailer as well. We do have a sort of run-in with John Wick as well, so he is in here. I mean, obviously everyone wants to see him. But it's just really cool how it all intertwines. I mean, we see the Continental, which I'm very, very happy about. We get to see Lance Reddick in what is supposedly his last role. It's going to be really a shame not to see him anymore in the role of Karen, you know, the concierge when you go into the Continental, you know, at the desk. He's just brilliant. And since the last John Wick film, I've actually also played the 2 Horizon games, Horizon Zero Dawn and Horizon Forbidden West, and he's got a really cool role in that as well. He's a real loss to us all, I find, in the acting world. But anyway, yes, I love how this is all intertwined. You know, we get to see characters from John Wick films that we've already seen. It also expands this idea. Like I say, they're all doing different things. Like this faction, they actually are out to protect people. I think that's really cool. So I just enjoy, and this tribe that she goes after is new as well. So it's really funny because as these films you know, keep going on, you get the feeling like there's actually hardly anyone in the world who's not an assassin. It's like it's more likely to meet an assassin somewhere than not. It's really quite funny, but it doesn't matter. There are quite a lot of things where you have to suspend your disbelief, but that's just been like it from the start with John Wick. I mean, the one-man army, etc. You know. Speaking of that, you've obviously got people online going, "Oh, I don't want to see a small woman, you know, being a one-man army." But is it really more unrealistic than the one-man guy? I mean, the one-man army, John Wick. I mean, you know, both are unrealistic. It's silly. If you like the one thing, you should like the other thing. Also, because you do, and this is what I really like, it is different enough to warrant its own existence. So Ana de Armas, her character is obviously trained, you know, in this world, how to fight, close combat, all these things, but she is at a physical disadvantage, and this is actually addressed in the film. And she's told to fight dirty because, I mean, just from a purely self-defense standpoint, yes, because that's what you should do. If your life is on the line, there are no rules, you know, you do whatever it takes. And so, you know, so this is what we see, but also she is not as good as John Wick. She can't be, because he's this you know, decades-long hard-working assassin. You know, he's the best there is, etc., etc. It would be ridiculous to have her, and she's been training for like over a decade, but she's still very new to the job, you know, as in she's only been working a few months or so. It would be ridiculous to have her being as skilled as John Wick. And we see this, she makes mistakes, you know, she gets overwhelmed in situations. She's easily not as skilled in these things as John Wick, and that is actually really good. But at the same time, something that I appreciate is because, well, not only is Ana de Armas younger, but she's obviously also a lot more flexible, etc. I mean, also having to portray a ballerina. We see that in the action scenes as well, because at least from a martial standpoint, it's a lot more entertaining. I mean, Keanu Reeves does a good job, and I know he does martial arts as well, but he's an older guy, you know, he's not that flexible, and we don't see him doing all these things, etc. So I really enjoyed that aspect. And like I said, she just works differently to the whole thing. One thing I also noticed was something that you don't see a lot is, we, at least when it comes to the henchmen, we also have a lot of henchwomen, which is something that I thought about. It's like, why don't we actually see more henchwomen? Why is it only henchmen? It's a bit boring. We get to see henchwomen here as well, which I thought, yeah, more films should try and include them, right? It's a silly wee thing I noticed, but I just thought I'll address it anyway. The film's got a really funny connection to Austria, which I did not expect. I did not, you know, see anything about the film. I didn't get spoiled in any way, and then suddenly it's like, oh, the story also has to do with Austria. But I was like, okay, and then it's a lot more than I expected it to be. That was quite fun. It's very weird though, because then you have situations where it's like, people in Austria, they don't talk English that much. That was a bit unrealistic, but you know, again, suspension of disbelief, it's absolutely fine. That was just a really funny thing for me to see that. But I'll also say I love the look of the film because quite a portion of it takes place in sort of wintry time. We've got snow and the lighting, and we've got claustrophobic areas. It reminded me, because we've got this village, right? And it reminded me a lot about if you've played at Resident Evil 4, where you're basically on your own in a village, and it feels like the whole village is just after you, pursuing you, ganging up on you. It felt a lot like this, right? Or Resident Evil 8, to have a more recent, pretty similar example. It felt a lot like that, very claustrophobic. You know, you'd think, oh, you've got a huge village, tons of places to hide, etc. Not when the whole village is after you. And the lighting, especially during night where you've got these floodlights that are looking for her and all these kind of things, you add in all these shades of blue, looks absolutely amazing. I really enjoyed the look and feel of the film. The John Wick films, they've got this sort of you've got the neon lights, it's got this cyberpunky, neo-noir feeling and look, and they continue this here, and I absolutely adore it. I think it's brilliant, I love it. It fits so well somehow, and the music goes with it. That's why I'm saying, all in all, this is a really satisfying entry in the John Wick franchise, right? Like I say, it's different enough to warrant its existence. She is not John Wick, you know, Eve is not John Wick. She fights differently, she's not as skilled, you know, she gets into a lot more trouble in that sense. There's a lot more at risk here, you know, when it comes at least to her personal safety. And yeah, the story itself is different enough as well. We get to see more of the world. If you are a fan of what they've built with John Wick, with this franchise, you absolutely should see this film and support it, because we want more films. Like, I want to see more of this world. Just don't stop, you know, just don't stop. I know they're trying to figure out how they can get a John Wick 5 off the ground. I don't know what they do. Personally, I think they'll just go back into the past somehow and just show some job that he's done, because that's probably the easiest to do instead of trying to sort of resurrect him or something, I guess. But regardless of that, really show me more of this world, but make sure that the quality is high, right? I mean, there was this Continental series, I haven't seen it, but I haven't heard good things about it either. So, you know, make sure the quality is there. Anyway, go out and support this film. That will be all from me today. If you enjoyed this video, please like, share and subscribe. It is the best way to support this channel. Leave a comment down below about anything you want to say about this film, you know, the John Wick franchise. I'll leave my review to John Wick 4 here, I suppose. To me, possibly still the best film. I'm not quite sure, you know, if because John Wick 4 was just incredibly good. That was so satisfying. That film was amazing. And I'm so glad to see that they're continuing this and putting a new spin on it, but really in a cool way. So yes, anything you want to say, put it down in the comments below. I'll thank you for watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one on Flying Wiener. Take care, bye.